Institution Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Agriculture. Agriculture is simply defined as the production of crops and rearing of animals for man's use. Agriculture is one of the most important sectors of the economy of many West African countries. Components of agriculture. We have the crop production, livestock farming, forestry, fish farming. The crop production. This is a branch of agriculture which is concerned mainly with the cultivation of crops. Crop production is grouped into two major categories, the food crops and the cash crops. Food crops are cultivated mainly for consumption. Example: rice, maize, groundnuts, vegetables, yam, cassava, etc. While cash crops, on the other hand, are cultivated mainly for sales. Example: cocoa, orange, rubber, cotton, oil palm, etc. The livestock farming. Livestock farming involves the rearing of animals, either for consumption or for sales. Livestock includes cattle, sheep, goats, poultry, rabbits, snails, etc. These animals are reared for many purposes. Example: meat, for cash, for transport, sports, etc. Forestry. Forestry is the art of planting, tending, and managing forests, including the utilization of their products. Most of these trees found in the forest are either growing naturally or planted for specific purposes. Some common trees usually found in the forest are iroko, obeche, mahogany, etc. Forest is important for the provision of food, fuel, medicinal herbs, employment, wildlife, foreign exchange, timber, and pulp for making of paper. Fish farming. Fish farming is the art of rearing selected species of fish under specifically controlled conditions in enclosed bodies of water such as ponds, streams, rivers, oceans, etc. Systems of farming. We have the peasant farming, the plantation farming, the mechanized farming, and the cooperative farming. Peasant farming. Peasant farming is also referred to as subsistence farming. It is defined as a type of farming or agriculture which is concerned with the production of goods for the farmer and his family. The plantation farming. This involves the cultivation of some economic crops in large areas of land. In this type of farming, only one crop, monoculture, is grown in a large area of land. Some of these characteristics of plantation agriculture includes: it requires a large area of land, it requires a huge capital investment, and only one crop can be cultivated. Mechanized farming. This is also referred to as commercial agriculture. It is a type of agriculture which is concerned with the production of food, animals, and cash crops in large quantities, mainly for sales. Characteristics of mechanized farming: it requires a large area of land, it has complex and modern equipment like tractors, sprayers, floods are used. It requires huge capital investments. Cooperative farming. This is a type of farming in which farmers come together to form a union for the purpose of farming together to enable them enjoy some incentives from government. Such incentives may include loan, input supply like fertilizers, subsidies, and easy disposal of their products through organized marketing. Some characteristics of this cooperative farming includes union of farmers. They enjoy certain incentives from government such as land, reduced cost of inputs. It has organized markets for their products. Importance or contribution of agriculture to economic development of West Africa. These are the provision of food. Agriculture provides food such as maize, rice, yam, meat, milk, etc. for human consumption, either in fresh or processed form. Agriculture provides materials for clothing. such as fiber and cotton. Employment for the working population. Agriculture and other agro-based industries provide employment opportunities for 60 to 70% of the population. Source of foreign exchange. Through the export of agricultural produce like cocoa, cola, granules, palm produce, cotton, etc., a nation is able to earn foreign exchange. Generation of income. Sales of crops and their products, animals and their products provide income for farmers. Provision of materials for shelter. Agriculture provides materials essential for building, such as poles, doors, windows, roofs, etc., and materials required for furniture, such as chairs, table, bed, etc. Development of towns. Development occurs where commercial agriculture exists, as social amenities like electricity, pipe-borne water, roads, etc. will be provided. Provision of facilities for recreation and tourism. Agriculture leads to the establishment of game reserves as well as the provision of horses for horse racing and polo. Problems of agriculture in West Africa. Problems of agriculture in West Africa include land tenure system, inadequate finance or credit facilities, poor transportation system, inadequate storage and processing facilities, inadequate farm inputs, illiteracy of the farmers, lack of basic amenities, use of crude implements, land tenure system. The type of land tenure system in West Africa discourages farmers from acquiring land for large-scale farming. Inadequate finance or credit facilities. Majority of farmers are poor and do not have the finance to make purchase of land, tools, etc. They do not have access to loan facilities from banks. Poor transportation system. The presence of bad roads or total lack of it makes distribution of products to markets very difficult, and this leads to wastage. Inadequate storage and processing facilities. Lots of products are wasted due to lack of storage and processing facilities. The farmers do not have the technical know-how to operate these storage and processing facilities, which are very expensive to purchase and maintain. Inadequate farm inputs. Farm inputs like chemicals, fertilizers, improved seeds, tools, and implements are not easily available, and even when they are available, they are too expensive for the poor farmers to afford. Illiteracy of the farmers. Majority of the farmers who are engaged in farming, over 60%, are illiterate, and as such, they cannot make use of modern techniques in agriculture. Lack of basic amenities. Lack of basic amenities like electricity, pipe-borne water, and proper health care makes able-bodied men and women to migrate from rural to urban areas in search of non-existent jobs. Use of crude implements. The use of simple farm tools like cutlass, hoes, etc. leads to low agricultural production. Majority of the farmers are so poor that they cannot afford to buy modern tools and equipment to improve their products. How to solve the problem of low agricultural productivity in West Africa. Amendment of the Land Use Decree. Establishment of agricultural banks. Construction of roads. Provision of storage and processing facilities. Provision of farm inputs. Education of farmers. Provision of basic amenities. Provision of irrigation facilities. Amendment of the Land Use Decree. Amendment of the Land Use Decree of 1978 must be done to enable farmers acquire land for farming. Establishment of agricultural banks. Agricultural banks like the Nigerian Agricultural and Cooperative Bank (NACB) should be established to give loans to farmers at reduced interest rates. Construction of roads. Feeder roads should be constructed to open up the rural areas for agricultural produce marketing. Provision of storage and processing facilities. Government should provide storage and processing facilities for the farmers at subsidized rates. Provision of farm inputs. Farm inputs like improved seeds, implements, fertilizers, etc. should also be provided at subsidized rates to the farmers. Education of farmers. Farmers should be educated. Special schools or training centers should be established where farmers can be trained on how to read and write, trained on the use of modern system of farming, etc. Provision of basic amenities. Government should provide basic amenities like electricity, piped water, and health care facilities in areas to make life more meaningful. Provision of irrigation facilities. Irrigation facilities should be introduced where weather is unfavorable. Example, low rainfall. Also, water conservation techniques such as mulching should be practiced.